I really prefer to talk outside when you can see the city, when you can see the nature, or something more interesting than what you can see in the room, like a resistance band, the blue colored resistance band in the back. But what I want to talk about is the flatmate we had next door a couple of years ago, a massive man, very broad shoulders, very heavily built, muscles, who used to live in New York, then moved to London. And well, he has a very interesting story, and for some reason I think of him every day. Obviously, I want to talk about him in a very respectful way. I'm not gonna say his name, and I try to give out as less information about him as possible because he's not here. We are not interviewing him, but what happened to him is very interesting because right now I'm based in London, UK. I just had my graduation ceremony. I was studying, I finished, I earned my degree, and I was working as well, 12 hours a day. So it was pretty hard couple of years, but now it's over. And sometimes on this channel I like to talk about the life in London in general and the life in Eastern Europe, and sometimes the migrant lifestyle when you decide to do seasonal work in another country, in another culture, because it's very fascinating to me. One of the reason it's very interesting to me because you can never really measure success. What does it mean to go abroad and be successful? It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he moved from Austria to USA, to Los Angeles. Is that a success story? Oh yeah, definitely it is. Going abroad and working some entry-level jobs, cash in hand, and then for some reason ending up at Stanford University and making a career, building a home with a beautiful family. And you hear all these stories in the media, traditional media and social media, but there are so many other stories you will probably never hear about, and those are the interesting ones. When something goes wrong for some reason, and maybe you hear about them because it went wrong in a very impossible way, but there are no explanations, and probably that's why movies and dramas will never go out of fashion. Novels, books never go out of fashion because in a story like that you always get explanation for everything. There is a beginning, there is an end. And now I wanna talk about my friend, my next door roommate, with a very interesting story. And probably we will never know what happened to him and why all those things happened to him. And yeah, because there are stories like that as well. And that's why I like social media, because it's a completely new thing in human history. We never had anything like this before, where you can listen to people who work at a vegetable market in south of France telling their everyday life, or people who moving to Japan from an English speaking country to teach English. And there are so many others, or my favorite, one of my favorite one, marine biologists, the people who search the seas. Right now, because of the internet, you have access to these stories, to these personal experiences. So my flatmate easily couldn't have it all. I'm average height, but he was so much taller than me. He was massive. He was going to the gym and he was doing workout at home as well with weights. I never seen anyone lifting that much almost every single day. Whenever I went down to the garden, he always showed up and we had a small talk, a little conversation here and there. And I said that I spent time in New York, and he said the same thing, that yeah, I was in New York as well. So we talked a little bit and he corrected my accent. He corrected my grammar, because people who move around, who work in different countries, they stay for the summer here, they go for, I don't know, for a ski resort for the winter period. They sometimes say things that are not really true, just for the moment, for the sake of conversation, just for entertainment. But this guy knew what he was talking about. And I don't know how it happened. We moved. I moved out, and everyone moved everywhere, but this guy stayed. And then we got the news that one day he went home, and he thought that he's not alone in the kitchen. So he went home middle of the night, and he thought that he is not alone in the kitchen, and maybe he thought he's in some sort of danger or whatever, but he attacked the kitchen cabinet. Well, this is a huge guy with massive muscles, and you can imagine, if he hits someone or something. Well, he definitely hit several times the kitchen cabinet, and I don't know what happened. Maybe the whole thing fall on him, but yeah, he ended up in the hospital, and the family from Eastern Europe needed to come and collect him and bring him home. And that year when it happened, I think that was the saddest story. Yeah, that was the saddest story of the year, because he definitely had the potential. I spent so much time and money to lose my accent, and he had it so easily, the British accent, the American accent, and he really understood how to talk. He corrected my grammar. I sometimes, I put words in different order. So I just finished the university, and many times when I needed to submit an assignment. Well, when I get back my assignment, many times it was written that, oh, this is a odd expression, and this one is like this one is like that. And this guy knew how to talk. He had he was very strongly built. It's like he could be anything. He had the potential, and he ended up like that. It's so unbelievably sad for me. And I hope one day I will know what happened, know the reasons. Also, a good advice before we wrap this up: don't fight the kitchen cabinets. They usually tend to win. Okay, that was it for today. Bye.